Hit the like, everybody. We're about to start. Check. You.
Stayed there, but we packed our bags and left. We play it back, but we're not satisfied with less. I don't know what you think this is, but it's not some sort of test. We already did our best, and now it's gone. I'm not a sacrifice to hold on to. You're a mirror, and I've seen you through and through. I don't need your medication. I'm a goddamn superstar. Don't need your medication. I don't need you.
Sorry, I did it again, didn't I? I didn't want to talk over my own song, and then I started. That's what happens. Oh, kids today and their little mute buttons. What am I thinking? Yeah, that's a new song called Medication. It's only new because it just got finished, but it's actually pretty old. It's 2005. I wrote that 2000. No, even before that, 2000. I know it takes a little while to catch up. 2004. Yeah. Might have, yeah, I think I wrote that in 2004. That was one of the Queer as Folk Days songs, interestingly enough. I was listening to a lot of Static X and and a bunch of static and stereo. A lot of the word static in it. I was in my static phase. So hi, yes, hit the like, share the show. We have a lot to cover today. Oh boy, there's just a never-ending thing. And do we have the full CNBC interview anywhere? I looked all over, and I've only been able to find clips of it. Do I have to go to their channel to watch the goddamn thing? Because what a travesty. I mean, granted, it's the maggot host over there at CNBC who's just on suck up, he's on suck-up duty there. Suck-up duty sounds nasty. It's not surprising that I don't know. Of course, it's going to be he's going to kiss his ass, but there's parts of it where he can't. And I'm sure we'll find the clips in there. But Jesus Christ, the whole I know, there's a lot of crypto's a crazy thing and it's wild and you do great things. But are you worried that people are going to notice that you're ripping off your own supporters? Because the people that lost money on the Trump crypto aren't you and I, kids. Say what you will about our money-making ability over here on the Democratic side of the aisle, but none of us bought into Trump Media and Technology Group or the Trump crypto, or even, by the way, just straight up Bitcoin right about the time that Don and Eric bought into it. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Or I don't know if I should thank you, CSL. This might be more torture than any of us deserve. But let's see if it will open up to a full window. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. Maybe not. Okay. I'm going to blow this up. And I apologize if I can't start it the way I normally do stuff. And if it has ads, I'm going to play it, see if it's got ads on it. Nope, here we go. Okay, so hopefully it will. Sometimes they go to small windows, but it seems okay. All right, we're going to jump into this CNBC interview, and then we're going to do a little bit of reading time, and then we're going to check in with the MAGAsphere, who are freaking out about the Tyler Robinson trial and what a jackass they look like trying to defend their paranoia. I guess that's the goal right now. We'll see. Anyway, so hit that like, share the show. It's House Spark Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, watch the show, etc., etc., etc. Now, breaking news, which, again, it's a sit-down interview. Simmer. There's nothing Trump is going to say that's breaking at all, especially if it's about the Iran war.
It's great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Also, is this setting on, what is it, auto at 720?
In this incredible place, and
It's a nice place.
Happy Independence
It's so nice.
Day, and happy semi-quincentennial.
Yeah, that's true.
If I got that right.
Thank you.
We 200.
Again, sounds like when Jack Klugman can't get an erection in the opening credits of Quincy.
50 years, and I just want to start flying at about 40,000 feet, and just, which you've done in pretty nice plane lately, by the way.
See how I did there? See what I did there? Gork, gork, gork.
Saw that. What's so amazing about this country, in
Oh my God.
your words for the last?
Well, that an idiot like me, who's had 4 cognitive tests and gotten a C- on all of them, can scare everyone into lying on my behalf. What a country.
In 50 years, you always say like never been seen before. There's never been a country.
Yes, he always says that. Never been a country like this. Yeah, there's kind of never been a country like 1930s Germany either. There's never been a country like Mongolia under Genghis Khan also. There's a lot, just because there's not something like something, you know what I mean? Nobody's ever seen a boil that big, sir.
Like this that's ever been seen in the history
Well,
of
a
the
lot of people don't understand that right now we are in a golden age. You understand it very well. You cover it very well. We have more
This is me gorking you while you gork me. Gonk, gonk.
factories being built today than ever before. We have
No, we don't. And an AI data center is not a factory.
more people working today than at any time ever in the history of our country.
Well, that's because of a little thing, because of population, not per capita.
Say per capita, there's many per capitas. It's like per capita relative to what?
I know.
People making more money than they've ever made. I'm not talking about rich people. I'm talking about
the super rich.
people that have like normal or normalized jobs.
Normalized jobs. We came in, you guys were acting a little crazy, but you're pulling a paycheck, and we told you to settle the fuck down. Have a normalized job.
Than they've ever made before. 401ks
And things are costing them more than they ever have before.
are up.
It's almost as if as fast as they make it or faster, it gets burned up.
Levels that they've never seen before, up 80 and 90%.
Yeah, he just told you that like levels never seen before thing is getting a little tired. He tried to be nice to you.
And the stock market's at an all-time high. I think it's 81 days out of a short, year and a half. 81 days, we have 81 records.
They didn't all happen in one day. Whatever there was, when they kept going up past a certain point, they made several records. That day was just a record-setting day. So you're not counting every decimal point above a previous close. I mean, why not count? I don't know, 3,000 records.
So nobody's ever seen anything like that.
or if it backs up, something's hitting a record.
Well, if it backs up,
the
we won't
S&P or
talk
the
about it.
NASDAQ or the Dow, another all-time high. But
But you said if it backs up, hopefully it won't. But
Well, on
if
any
it
given
does, I
day.
will not be talking
But-
about it. I'll be talking about it other stuff.
but an unbelievable
That's my going joke that if it sucks, I'm not going to mention it, or I'll blame my kids or Marco Rubio or JD Vance. But if it's great, I'll take total credit for it, even though I didn't know it was happening.
unbelievable first half of the year. Your first term we saw, I think, if depending on what you measure it from, either 80%.
We use a bullshit measurement. Yeah, just peg the fucking needle on bullshit.
From election day, I think 70% from inauguration.
First term was great. First term
and
was.
It might even be at a faster pace.
This is better. So the first term.
Gee, it wouldn't have anything to do with an entire industry being born 4 years ago.
We had the most successful 4 years, including the COVID. You know, when you include that.
No.
When I hand.
No. Sorry. A president that presides over the death of 1 million Americans did not have the most successful presidency ever. Sorry. You got to take the hit.
Did it off. It was literally, I mean, you look at the numbers, we had the highest market in history.
No, you didn't. Because Biden set a bunch of records too. Hey, guess who had records before that? Obama. You see the general trend?
First term was great financially. This is, I think, blowing it away. I think this is going to blow it away.
So we had
Yeah, you might blow it up.
the
Sure.
jobs number today, which is weird because it's Thursday, but the markets aren't open more. But 57,000 jobs.
Womp, womp. Sorry, I should have been prepared for that.
We're below expectations, and I think there were some revisions, but the job market has been stronger than people anticipated. However, you know, we had $90 oil at 67, 68 today,
right,
and 57,000. Would you say that gives Warsh, the new Fed chairman who you chose, more flexibility to cut? Because for a while we thought the next move might be a hike. Now it's the stars.
Aren't you glad there's only 60,000 jobs instead of another 110,000 so that we can start cutting interest rates?
Aligning, would you say, for him to cut?
Well, he's got a board that maybe is a little bit hostile. And, you know,
Yeah, they're so defensive about reality.
unfortunately, and maybe a board that wants to do the wrong thing. So I don't know. He's a great guy and a great pro, and I know where he'd like to be, but he has to do what he has to do.
You mean the exact fucking same thing as Powell because the job hasn't changed?
I really think that I would love to be able to get back. You know, in the old days, probably maybe
Oh, dear.
before you started thinking about these
This is going to hurt, isn't it?
things. But if you go back 20 or 25 years, when you
Oh, my God. When you got good news, the market went up. And when we got bad news, the market went down. Yeah, but the bad news was like a potential nuclear strike. And the good news was things sucked slightly less in the economy.
announced great numbers, the stock market went up. When you announced bad numbers, the stock market would go down. Today it's the opposite.
Well, again, depends on what you view as good or bad. It might be that the current market, and this might be the disconnect between reality and what normal people go through and what the market's doing, because they've spent most of their time over the last 3 decades figuring out a way to make money, whether it goes up or down. It affects the market either way. And most of the time, if we get more jobs and people are getting higher wages, which is better for the economy and better for the public, the people that expect a dividend know that that's going to go down because hiring, there's more competition for hiring. So you got to pay people more and give them more benefits to get them on your team. And if you have to do that, that's less you can hand out to your donors and your investors. So that's why it's shifted. It's not a mystery. Oh, and I'm sorry. That thing covers it, but I probably should have done this. I apologize. Thank you for reminding me, everybody. All right.
When you announce good numbers, the stock market goes down, sometimes really way down, depending on how good. The better they are, the more, because they have this phobia, they have this horrible derangement syndrome about inflation. And growth can
they have IDS.
be good for inflation, not just bad for inflation. And it's a shame. Anytime numbers are announced that are not so good, I wish I could flip it the old way, that when you...
I wish the entire economy was restructured back to when it was robber barons ran everything.
announce great numbers, because otherwise it's almost like they want to kill strength. They want to kill success. You know?
Yeah, that's what the Fed and Wall Street are trying to do.
It's good numbers.
Oh, the media volume is low. I'm sorry. I'll bring it up. Apologies.
Like You have a couple of countries. India is one, doing very well, but it's at 7-8%. Others, take a look at Japan's numbers. I mean, they're doing very well. She's very good. She's doing a good job, a friend of mine, but they're allowed to go up. We're not allowed to go up. If we go up, they want to kill it. There's no reason we should stop at 4%. We should be at 12% and 13% GDP. And I hate.
I think he means growth, like 12 to 18% growth, which is fucking insane. Like, no. Like, just unsustainable nonsense.
It happens where in the old days we would be, that's how we built the country.
Yeah, but that's because shit was so much smaller. That kind of growth was like, and by the way, that's when like we went from horses to trains. That's how you get 18% growth in an economy, is if the fucking steam engine is invented.
You announce positive things and they want to bring it down by raising interest rates.
Oh, those jerks.
And it shouldn't be that way. It should go back to the way it was.
You mentioned that war.
He has no idea what he's talking about. And you know he's like, I hope he bought that. I can't get a read on this guy's face. Is he buying my bullshit? Because I think this guy works someplace where they know this. And he's either going to shut up and kiss my ass, which is why he's been sent, or he's going to call me out on it in a real roundabout way, and I'm totally going to lose track of the conversation.
Might not, the chairman has other people on the Fed, obviously. And so has Lisa Cook on the Fed. The Supreme Court ruled on Monday. I'm not really sure exactly whether it was on the merits or whether it was procedure, but I think you said that
procedure.
You're going to take the appropriate action when the time comes. What could you do?
Gee, it's like the same thing with the goddamn tariffs. Well, the first time we did them was we did the illegal way, and now we're going to do the legal way, which is longer and requires Congress and requires evidence that these countries are quote unquote ripping us off when they fucking aren't. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. Scoot over. There you
go. To get rid of...
Get her off.
How would you do it at this point?
By winning the case. They sent it back, not based on the merits. They sent it back on process and procedure. Mm-hmm. So we'll start...
Yes, governments are run, when they're run well, through process and procedure, so some intoxicated lunatic can't flip out and start throwing switches and launch a bunch of nukes and shit like that. We have checks and balances for that. It was built into the system. As a matter of fact, we celebrated a lot of those checks and balances on fucking Saturday.
Process, and we'll do perfect process and perfect procedure.
Speaking of the Supreme Court,
like a perfect phone call, which wasn't.
You're allowed to fire, except for the Fed. You're allowed to fire people at other federal agencies, which for you in your term would make a big difference for you. But my question...
It was by far the biggest slaughter, as they call it.
Of the SCOTUS.
It was by far the biggest of all the decisions and all of the cases and all of, what they just announced. So this has been going on since 1932, where they took the right away from FDR. They took it away, which was, you think of FDR, that doesn't happen, but it did. He fought very hard to get it back. In fact, he wanted to pack the court. He was willing to pack the court. They were his justices. Mm-hmm. And this has been going on since 1932, and I want it back. And there are
It was actually better for the country that you had to fire people for cause, for reason, instead of just swapping out agency heads randomly just so you could install loyalists. And by the way, counting on the next party to just abide by the rules, even if you didn't.
This is one of
which is what he's doing.
The biggest decisions handed down in decades.
You know that
bigger than birthright citizenship, bigger than anything.
What if?
Yeah, yes, the wins are bigger than anything. The losses are, they're not really a big deal, and we're going to win anyways. See a pattern?
The next time a Democrat is elected president, and the executive branch has all this expanded power that you've gotten.
Well, then they've got it.
Don't you worry they'll undo some of your policies at that point?
Uh-huh.
I can only speak for myself. It's necessary.
Worry about what's now. And
Yeah, I mean, look, it's necessary. It's actually an honor to have won that because every president since FDR has been trying to get that
And JD's going to use it like crazy.
back, and I got it back. That's a big deal. You know, it's a checkpoint.
It's a little checkpoint. Is it a little check? Can we? I don't even know if we can. If this thing allows me to jump back on things, does it? Hold on. Yeah, I could do a 10-second rewind.
Honor to have won that because every president since FDR has been trying to get that back, and I got it back. That's a big deal. You know, it's a checkpoint.
That's a little checkpoint. Sure.
if the Democrats take the House, and I want you to succeed.
Adorable. Okay, I think this is the kiss ass part where he's like trying to ask an actual question because he's got crypto investments and Trump is fucking them up with all this corruption. Because the problem with crypto, besides the fact that it's really only good for guns, drugs, and human trafficking, is that it's been dogged by corruption and a lot of like backdoor power moves where people make money off of it and screw everybody who's actually bought into any of the meme coins or any of that kind of stuff. They get screwed every time. And so you'd want somebody to get in who's like, if the president wanted to be the hero of crypto, they would stabilize it. They would make sure that there were very distinct rules that are equal to other forms of currency. And Trump has done the exact opposite. He's made it so that almost anybody with money can game it, create their own coin, gut everything. And he's got to, ironically, he's got to protect the dollar. So he's been pushing for these like digital currencies, these what's it called? The stable coins, specifically because they're pegged to the dollar. That's in the interest of the dollar overall. And that's what Bessent and those guys are like kind of leaning towards. So whatever I don't even know, quite frankly, what they explained to him or if he even gives a shit. This sounds like a Don and Eric conversation anyways, because if you look at where crypto has gone, I mean, fucking, let's see, where's Bitcoin? Is it like 60,000? It's like halfway. Oh my God. Oh yeah, 64,000. There it is. Yeah, 64,000. A year ago, Don and Eric bought into crypto, and here's a year ago. This is where it was. Boink. This is, yeah, here you go. March, yeah. Last year, year to date. Let's do 1 year. There it is. Because I think it was like 120 or something. And they announced it August. That's what it was. August of last year. Don and Eric were like announcing this big from World Liberty Financial and their own meme coin and all that shit that they were starting under their dad. Blah, blah, blah. A lot of that got powered up, and it took a few months after he got in office to cover their ass and cross their I's and dot their T's, and they got right at it. And in August of last year, Bitcoin was at $123,000. Where is it? Because this is what I remember them very distinctly buying in almost exactly to the date. They bought in like here at 113 through these days. This is when World Liberty Financial was buying up a bunch of Bitcoin and they were touting it. And Trump was in there. We're going to be the crypto capital of the world and we're so going to beat China and all that shit. And then as soon as the Trump boys got into the business of crypto, down it fucking goes. 64,000, down 40% in the past year. Just, we're business people. We know business. We like business. We're businessy business people, and we're always businessing. So dumb.
As president, I want a businessman to run the country. And
okay, so you didn't vote for him, and you wouldn't again.
All along, you entered as a billionaire businessman, which was unprecedented. I think George
and now, yeah, well, on paper maybe.
Washington owned a lot of land, but no one's ever.
Yeah, but it was real land, and he owned it by himself.
I think JFK had a trust fund, but no one's ever been as wealthy as you, and you
on paper
obviously know how to run a business, and that I think
check please
informs the way you run the country. Obviously, now many people argue business experience is needed in government, and we've seen the stock market in the
by many he means him.
First term and the second term. I think it's been rewarded to have a businessman in there. So,
well, for businesses,
I think we shouldn't be surprised that your businesses are doing well, but how would you counter critics?
Man, what fucking tiptoe. Like, this guy is just trying so hard. You know, you're a genius and a businessman, and man, we need somebody in there. But how would you counter? It's not so. I'm not saying this. But how would you counter the criticisms of the gazibas that you're making money off the presidency?
Let's say you're using the presidency to enrich yourself and your family.
Well, in a lot of ways, if you think about it, the stock has gone up so much. The stock market today, it's up 500 points. It's up to almost 53,000. You know, I watched your show, and you had somebody on, one of your brilliant analysts.
Oh, fuck, man. He's not going to pretend that the guy he saw saying if they get to 50, it'll never get to 50,000 in 5 years or whatever, that it was on CNBC and it was on his fucking show. Never happened. I don't think that ever happened at all, but it certainly didn't happen on that guy's show.
And they said if I had won the election, they said if President Trump could get the stock market to anywhere near 50,000,
it was already near
would be
50,000.
an unbelievable achievement, and that was over 4 years. In other words, at the end of his term, 4 years, if he could get anywhere near 50,000, that
Dear God.
would be, well, it's at 53,000, it's just a couple of points
Right.
short of 53,000 right now, and that's essentially after a little bit more than a year.
But do you worry
Do you worry that that's all AI?
that if the Democrats were to win the House, that there's going to be endless investigations of you and your administration?
Well, you know, I
based on-
don't do anything having to do with my business. My kids run it. I put a lot of money. I had a lot of money, and I have a lot.
And I've got a lot of secure phone calls, and I don't write anything down. I don't put stuff in emails.
Of money, and I've made money. You know, I'm
Eh. Notice how he glances at the camera right there? I've made money. I mean, not my money.
a business person. I'm a really good business person. I've made money. I've made a tremendous amount of money, more than I would have ever thought I would have made. And I let people invest it. I don't even know who they are, but it's given to big firms
On an individual level.
that are on your show all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to, you don't talk to the traders directly. You talk to their bosses. This is so fucking
My
lame.
son, Eric, handles it. I don't
Oh, God.
talk to him about things.
No wonder TMTG is doing so well. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, it's killing it. It's up 12 whole cents today. Yeah, here you go. Let's just look at the last 6 months. Eric's been doing a bang-up job. So let's see, what's it been doing since... Yeah, there we go. He's doing the same thing he's done since he invested in Bitcoin. Eric's just $8.66. Of course, when Marjorie Taylor Greene and the rest... Oh, shit, that was only $19. Well, look at when it started. Look at that, when people jumped right in. Get on top of there, you dickhead. $97 when Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and all those people bought into it. Oh man, look, some of them bought it at $50, I bet. They were like, oh shit, to the moon. Here we go. And then blow and plow. And this is when he won the presidency. They were like, we got a second bite at the apple. Collapse. This seems to be the actual worth of the stock somewhere around here, as far as people who are stupid enough to buy it are concerned. Yeah. Oof. Eric's doing great. It's a great job. Super job.
Which is this. I think I'd be allowed
I think Devin Nunes quit earlier this year when the stock was at like $10.
to. I'm not sure even what the status is, but I don't.
Well,
And he gives it into these like
He was about to tell you. It's technically illegal.
semi-blind trusts or blind
Semi.
trusts where people invest. There was a story today about Jensen Wing, who's
Huang.
fantastic.
He is fantastic.
NVIDIA. And
Sorry, did he say NVIDIA again? Like it's a fucking skin cream?
Jensen Wing,
Huang. Huang.
who's fantastic. NVIDIA.
NVIDIA. God damn. So aggravating. NVIDIA. That's why the N is capitalized. It's a NVIDIA. Is there an I between the N and the V? Jesus.
That I have some stock. I think it's very small. I think it's one of many companies that one of the big Wall Street firms invests in. So they said, oh, Trump has some stock in.
Nope, that's not the one they brought up. They brought up Dell because you bought a bunch of Dell right before you gave a government contract to Dell. That's the one.
But
I don't care about that. You know why? You know why I don't care?
Yeah.
Because I have a much bigger purpose. You know.
Because by the time they come after me, I'll be long gone.
This is the Oval Office. It's a much bigger purpose than whether or not I make money. As an example, the president's the highest paid person in government. And, you know, by some standards, gets a lot of money. I'm the only president, they say.
Oh, my God. Who gives away his... Dude, do you have any idea how many millions of dollars? The president's salary is like $500,000. We spend millions at his properties just bringing the government and setting up a fucking... just the parking for government vehicles over the course of a year at his properties is more than the president's salary. He spent 400 years worth of presidential salary at his own properties during his first term. And he's obviously on trajectory to beat or, you know, if he physically makes it, to beat that number this time around.
That's ever...
Never mind the $400 million plane or whatever.
I gave up my salary.
Right.
I don't get a salary. I gave it up. And that's a lot of, you know, by some standards, that's a lot of money.
It's $400,000 a year by every standard. By some standards, you know. I mean, if you start taking the 1%, hedging that out, the bottom 20 of the 1% might, you know, that's the difference between a boat this year or not.
The stock market, that makes sense. So, as far as crypto goes, and I'm just wondering, you didn't divest your business. You have your sons running it. I think vice presidents and presidents aren't subject really to conflict of interest laws, but there's this notion that you need to be aware of conflict of interest.
Yeah.
There was a
Yeah, he just doesn't care.
large sum of money made in crypto. Did you know that your family business was going to engage in crypto? Did you have anything?
Well, I was there before I was in office. But the way I view crypto is a little differently. We have to be at the top, otherwise China's going to take it over. Like, for instance, AI. We're leading substantially in AI over China and everybody.
Okay, first of all, we'll get to that in a second. What the fuck do you mean by leading? We got it out of it? People are buying it? We got more companies? Okay. President Donald Trump's recent ethics report showed that the revenues across his golf properties hit over $392 million in 2025, up 12.5% or nearly $44 million from the previous year. The biggest dollar driver was the Trump National Doral Miami, which brought in $120 million in 2025. Forbes estimated the Doral, a sprawling resort with 14 acres, is the second most valuable property in his real estate portfolio behind Mar-a-Lago. Now, okay, so this is his things not, previously not making money. Hold on one second. Yeah, here you go. And meanwhile, get back up here. I don't want the video. Yeah. So 14 million. Oh, hold on, reject all. Hold on. I don't have to sign into all these things. According to public statute, what's is one of every 4 days. That means $28 million. So just golfing, here it is. The average round of golf in the U.S. can run you between $20 and $1,000. According to public schedule records since taking office, this is Trump has golfed about one of every 4 days. According to records from the Government Accountability Office, it's costing the American taxpayer about $26 million. The President of the United States makes $400,000 a year. The cost of golf for the president is $26 million. And they're all at his properties. He donates his salary And President Trump makes a point of donating salary usually to a federal agency. They get $50,000 in non-taxable allowance and $100,000 for travel. That's private travel or whatever. There we go. According to an audit by the Government Accountability Office, Biden spent $16.5 million in 2022 alone. But Trump isn't just spending the money; he's using the office to make money. We've seen issues of meme coins and other business. This $26 million. When have you seen him golf at any property that isn't his? Where do you think that goes? Where's that money go? That goes to paying for the use of his private property.
I mean, we're leading. When I was with President Xi 3 weeks ago, he greeted me and his first words, I mean, literally were, "Wow, you've really done a great job. You've really..."
Yeah, that's what he said.
Because this country was dead. We had a dead country. Now we have...
Yeah, he didn't say that. There's no way.
The hottest country in the world. And the way I look at AI or the way I look at crypto is if we're not going to do it, China's going to get it. Most likely China,
No
but
doubt.
somebody else. Japan is somebody else. And
It's always the Asians, I guess.
it's a big
It's computer stuff, so computer means Asian to him.
industry.
Gotcha.
Chipto, if you call it an industry.
Yes, I do. Sometimes I call chipto and
Crypto
it's
is if we're not going to do it, China's going to get it. Most likely China,
No
but
doubt.
somebody else. Japan is somebody else. And I want to, it's a big industry. Chipto, if you call it.
oh, chipto. Yeah, so that's China and crypto crashing together in his brain and falling out of his mouth at the same time.
An industry, but it's a big deal. And crypto is a big deal. You look at it, the way it's grown
Or chipto.
over the years. You have believers, you don't have believers, whatever it is. But it's a big
It's not a church, asshole. It either works or it doesn't.
deal. And anything we do, I want to be number one in. And we're number one in crypto, and we're also number
Corruption.
one in AI.
In the disclosure this week, the amount of money that you and the family made in crypto, it was an outsized number. I was just asking, were you know about the crypto ventures? So that was just something.
By the way, I
It
could
was just a happy accident.
know about it.
That's what
I
I
didn't.
said. Right.
I mean, there's nothing illegal. There's nothing wrong with it. I could know.
There's a specific. I think I remember.
Well, he thinks that if he's president, he could make money through it for national security purposes. He could just define everything as having national security reasoning behind it. So that's why it's not illegal. I'm the president. Ask the SCOTUS. I can do anything I want.
Title 18, Section 208 from Congress, you, the vice president, and you do not have, you would have to recuse
I
yourself.
didn't even know that. I'm glad you told me.
You would have to
I didn't
recuse
know
yourself
that.
on every
Yeah.
decision that could, running the country that could have anything to do with you. So it just isn't feasible to do
Well,
it.
I feel badly in a way for my kids because
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't have to recuse yourself from the decisions. You would just have to put that in a blind trust. You don't make a choice between making decisions for the country or making decisions for your own personal business interest. That's the fucking point of a blind trust, so that you can prioritize America first. Jesus.
every time my kids do, if they invest in a stock or if they go and do a bill, anything they do,
Oh, yeah. Now do Hunter Biden.
because the presidency is so powerful, so
Yeah, it's just weird. They catch hell.
big, everything, if they buy a cupcake company, well,
Are there cupcakes? Those seem to be, that would be shaped oddly. It would seem like it would catch the rain, which is counterintuitive. Maybe they're cupped inward, the cupcakes.
powerful, so big, everything, if they buy a cupcake company, well,
Sure, if they buy a cupcake company, that's hard to say, even if you meant to say the right words.
the energy
Oh my gosh, Peter, thank you for the memberships. Bless you for that.
to make the cupcakes is, sort of like, how's my energy policy? So therefore you have a conflict. Almost
No, nobody's going to ask them what's the energy source behind the fucking cupcakes. So they're cheap. As a matter of fact, if they started a cupcake company, it's probably one of the few areas where there wouldn't be overlap, you tit.
anything
Yeah, thanks again, Peter. That's awesome.
they do, if they want to buy a truck, if they want to buy, if they buy an energy efficient truck,
An energy efficient truck. He means a cyber truck. Because last year they were all going to buy cyber trucks before he had his big falling out with Elon Musk.
they have inside information.
Yes, they have inside information that oil will be dead soon and electric cars will be the best option.
So it's pretty tough in that sense. I tell
Oh, boo fuckity who.
my kids, stay away from as much as you can stay away from. But
Yes. Now tell them to do that with the White House, public parks, and any rare and exotic animal.
they also have a life. You know, we were doing business long before I ever thought of. You knew me a long time before I thought of even running. You knew me before I even thought about running for president.
I did.
Yes, you should try to say that same sentence 3 more ways.
I knew you before
And
you were
we did a lot of
married to
business.
Melania, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
At the
But
wedding, yeah.
I did. You know, I've made
Oh, and you were just fucking her and you were still married to Marla.
a lot of money over the years.
Oh, so wait a minute. That means this guy's known him since he was flying on Epstein's plane regularly. Well, there you go. Is this guy, has he ever been? Is he one of the friends that he was complaining to Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and this is going to affect my friends?
And I think one of the reasons that I got elected was have a business person. And if you look at what's happening,
Yes, to your it's interesting. It's almost like your poll numbers are going the same direction as crypto and TMTG stock.
we're beating everybody. We're beating China.
We've always been beating China, and we're not beating China. They're falling behind.
We're beating every single country. We're the envy of the world. And
We have been since like before World War II.
AI, whether it's good or bad,
Yeah, whatever it is, we're going to be ahead. If it's bad, we're going to be the worst.
we have it.
Let's talk about
Holy shit! Wait, listen to that. This is true leadership, ladies and gentlemen.
We're beating every single country. We're the envy of the world. And AI, whether it's good or bad, we have it.
Let's talk about that.
And we are leading by so much.
We're leading in the bad parts and the good.
You know, I'm letting all of these big plants, everyone said, well, we don't have the energy to compete. I came up, and this was something I'm proud of. I did it myself. I said, I came up with this idea.
Yes, he let Elon Musk put a bunch of fucking turbines, methane turbines, outside of his facility in Memphis, and you can't. You still have to get clearance from the people in the area because they're the ones that breathe the fucking air.
plant build their own electricity. They become a utility. But these massive plants that are being built, they can't go off an old grid. So we wouldn't have anybody. We literally wouldn't have anything. We need double the energy, double the electricity that we have right now.
Oh, God.
To do that, just that one AI industry. So I let the plants, as they build these billions and billions of dollars of plants,
You let the plants, as they build these billions and billions of dollars of plants. Are you sure you're not talking about farms right now?
let them build their own electric generating
Generators?
plants. And
You let the plants build more plants. Honestly, it sounds like crabgrass.
they build them on top, they build them on the side, they build
Sometimes build them under, maybe next door, maybe down the
them
street.
separately.
Sometimes together.
And we have nothing but electricity. If you really look, we have more
We have nothing but electricity.
than anybody. If I didn't come up with that concept, we wouldn't have. We would not be in first place. We wouldn't even be. We'd be in last place. We wouldn't have any. We don't have enough from the old grid.
What about taking
So I'm sort of
stakes?
proud of that.
Reportedly, Sam Altman is discussing giving the government a 5% stake in OpenAI. Is that possible? And is that true? And would other AI companies do similar things, or would you
Well,
like
I
them
did
to?
something with Intel
Right.
that a lot
Communism.
of people don't know about and talk
Oh, we know about it. We know about it. We bring it up every time you complain about communism.
about. But it was, they had problems with things,
Yes, selling their chips,
and they got hurt
catching up with other people.
badly because no president ever charged tariffs, and Taiwan literally took 100% of the business almost. Mostly Taiwan, but South Korea a little bit, but mostly Taiwan. And I said, boy, if I was president, that would have never happened. Taiwan would never be in the position they're in.
You were president.
And now, of course, they're in a little bit of a tenuous position. And I have them all moving back. They're all moving back into this country. We have
No, you're not. The Chips and Science Act is why TMTG is putting a facility in, or TSMC. Listen to me. TSMC is putting a facility in Arizona.
We're going to have 40 to 50 to 60% of the chips. I think by the time we're pretty close to
Because of the Chips and Science Act.
the time I leave office,
Good Lord.
they're building chip factories in Arizona in particular. The biggest
Yeah, we know. It's from the Chips and Science Act.
company in the world is building. They're leaving Taiwan, meaning
They're not leaving.
to build this.
Yes, they're flying over here to build their facility over here because if they're going to sell the higher end chips or produce them, if they want to legally produce the higher end chips, they can only sell them in the United States to the U.S. military. So they got to build that factory over here. Durr. You basically turned TSMC into a defense contractor.
Building their biggest plant, and I think we're going to have a big percentage of chips. Right now, we had virtually nothing. We didn't make chips anymore. And Intel came in, they had a problem. I said, I can solve your problem, but I want 10% of the company.
You don't get the 10% of the company. You do realize that, right? The taxpayer is on the hook. If they gain, we might make something from it. Probably not. But if they lose, we're on the hook.
I said, I want 10% of the company, and he agreed to. And the stock has gone through. So I think we made 60 or 70
Because it has a guarantor now.
billion dollars
Like, hey, this is a great stock. If it fails, they'll bail it out.
in 8 months. Do I give credit for that? No. Somebody said that's not very American. I said, no, I think it is very American.
Somebody said that. Somebody on CNBC, somebody on his show.
Actually. And I've done that with other deals
I
where
think they had a loan anyway from the
Well,
CHIPS Act, and now
yeah.
it's better to have equity than a loan, you would think.
No, it's not. Because equity connotes a certain amount of responsibility.
well,
the country.
it worked out well from our standpoint.
Right, that's what I mean,
We
yeah.
really had no investment. We had on zero investment. We made about, I guess, $70 billion in a period of 8 or 9 months. But that's a great
Sorry, how do you, on zero investment, how do you make, oh God.
thing. What's happened is Intel has gone through the roof. It's one of the hottest companies, and they've done a great job.
Is Chinese AI, is it catching up, and do you need, are there some new restrictions you're thinking about that would make sense on tech?
Yes, explain to everybody, please, explain to him the intricacies of DeepSeek R1 and their reasoning tools and C-Dance.
Well, you need some guardrails, but you want to do as little as possible. You want to be good. We have
You do. Excellent. Thank you. Try not to get too technical, though. My audience can't handle it.
when we think there's a
You want to be good. Fucking hell.
bad player out there, there's a little danger. We stop the player quickly and effectively. We had a
What? Hold on. What player are you talking about?
Catching up, and do you need, are there some new restrictions you're thinking about that would make sense on technology flow?
well, you need some guardrails, but you want to do as little as possible. You want to be good. We have, when we think there's a bad player out there, there's a little danger. We stop the player quickly and effectively. We had a recent case where we did that. But you have to be, look, you have to be in the game. AI is bigger than the internet. I've never seen anything. The internet was a big deal. I think
It was? Is it still a big deal? I don't know. I haven't heard about it in years.
this is much bigger than the internet. And I'm basing it on numbers. I've never seen anything. Look, I went through
Really? You're basing it on numbers. You don't say.
the internet thing and I watched and I saw it grow.
You went through the internet thing, did you? While AIDS was your personal Vietnam?
I think this is much bigger than the internet. And I'm basing it on numbers.
Huge.
I've never seen anything. Look, I went through the internet thing and I watched
Well, what numbers would those be?
and I saw it grow very effectively. But this could be bigger. If we're not competing, and if we're going to compete, because I really think whoever's number one is going to really win the race.
Really? Is that how races work?
And
Really? I don't. Maybe I'm not a big sports guy.
right now, we're substantially number one.
We're substantially number one. I feel substantially number one. It's true. You can tell it's in my swagger.
I'm going to trying to do as much as we can.
Yeah, I try to. It's a little difficult to stay on topic because you don't know what the fuck he just said.
Go ahead.
I hope that's okay.
If he needs a little more time, just relax. I'm not Kamala. You know, they give him 4 minutes and then start screaming at him.
That housing
What the fuck are you talking about?
bill.
Don't be nervous, okay?
He's not. He just has to ask you some questions that you won't like, and he's so used to gargling your balls.
I'm only in the Oval Office with. No, I'm not.
He's been my friend for a long time, and he's a good man, too.
Yeah, so don't jump on him, Steven.
In a few days,
Miller or Chung.
it's going to become law one way or the other. The housing bill, right? You're going to sign it. Will it become law? Where do you stand on that? Is it? I know you called it a yacht.
Yeah, it's going to become law whether you sign it or not. That's the funny part. Like, it's, what is it, 10 days? And it's got the votes. Unless he vetoes it, it becomes law. He just wants to look like he's laying down. But it only works if you threaten to veto it or actually do.
Necessarily anti-housing bill. You called it a yawn because you think what's really important is
Save America
save.
Act, yeah. So I think the Save America Act is the most...
It's so important because it will, I don't know, if you really think of it, it will save America. People call it the Save Act. It's like, save what? They don't know. Save, somebody save me. Great Cinderella song. But is it like a savings bill? So people put a nickel away in a coffee can? So like, that's not, it's the Save America Act. Some people in my party think it's the Save Iran Act right now, but
important thing that we'll have before us, and maybe for many years back and many years forward.
You're waiting to talk about Graham Plattner? We'll talk about that in a minute.
It's
after this nonsense.
voter identification with a photo. So you look at somebody, that looks like that guy.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah. Yeah, he looks ballpark. Like it's like they're a fucking bouncer. Jesus saves, but Gretzky scores on the power play.
Voter ID, it's proof of citizenship, and it's no mail-in ballots, except for the military. We're very generous on this.
Yeah, so generous to our military.
If you're sick, if you're just not feeling well,
So you're going to be voting by mail this fall, is what you're telling us.
you can get exceptions. If there's a disability, there's some problem, or if you go on vacation. But you can't send in millions and millions and millions of ballots where you swamp the place.
Well, during COVID, that's one of the reasons why they did it. You'll notice they didn't send out nearly as many last time. And then there are a couple of states like Colorado where you have several of your favorite congresspeople, and one of your favorite, I think one of your favorite senators comes from there. They managed to get elected
And
by
it's
mail.
so corrupt. We're the only country in the world that does it. So it's those three things. I also had no men in women's sports,
Why is that in the Save America Act?
but we won that yesterday in the Supreme Court. And I also had no transgender mutilization of children.
He does know mutilization isn't a word, right? It's mutilation. No one charged Jeffrey Dahmer for cannibalism, murder, and mutilization.
And frankly, we'll win that too. So I took them out.
You let
so
the
I have
housing,
the three
will
things.
you let it go, the housing? You let
Well,
you would veto
okay.
it, would you?
So nobody knows more about housing than I do. I made
So, yeah, I'm going to do that.
billions and billions of dollars with housing, and I know exactly what they've done. They made maybe zoning easier, but maybe they made it tougher without knowing it. It's very complex stuff. But the housing bill is fine.
It's fine. It passed. Republicans are counting on it as one of the few things they can tout this fall that they actually fucking did.
There's a lot of Democrat points in there that I don't even think are good. But it's
Then veto it, asshole. Nut up. You fucking wuss.
fine. But I've made the case. I'd rather not sign anything until we sign the Save America Act.
well, tough shit then, I guess. So anything that's fun. So only bipartisan bills will become law. That's what's going to happen. That's what that means. That means if you're not going to veto it, it'll just automatically become law in 10 days. What an asshole, exactly. And the only things that won't become law are bills that pass on a narrow margin that don't get over 60 votes, because they won't become law. They'll get punted back.
Affiliation or
Save
filibuster
America. Because if you do Save America,
America will be saved. You didn't think about that, did you? Next year, because it doesn't go. If you signed it today, it wouldn't go into effect until January.
you're going to have
But
cheating.
practically,
in
how do we
elections.
get there on Save America? What would you like Majority Leader Thune to?
Well, I would like them to get it passed. What I'd really like is for them to
Filibuster.
kill the filibuster, terminate the filibuster. When they
Just in time for Democrats to take control.
terminate the filibuster, then they'll immediately approve the Save America and 100 other things. You could sit down all day long and just vote, and you'd have it. And the sad part is we probably have 5 or 6 senators that won't vote for it.
Right, because they will lose their job.
Republican senators and all of the Democrats. So
Good God.
their policy's no good, the Democrats. I call them the Democrats because their policies are so bad. But the one thing, unfortunately, they stick together. They
That's right. We're a team, guys.
don't have
Well, we'll see.
a Mitch McConnell.
We'll see what this
now a Mitch
They don't have a Mitch McConnell. I'm not even sure you have a Mitch McConnell right now.
McConnell.
The Democratic Party's got their own issues right now. We'll talk
They
about
do.
that a
It's a
little
different
later.
kind
too.
of issue. When
Yeah.
they vote on something, they
they're
say,
like the board
look at the
collective.
Supreme Court justices. The 3 Supreme Court justices, every vote, if it's
Yeah, that's how they do it. Bah, bah, bah.
for or against, it's 100%.
Well, that's because the only shit that's getting in front of them right now is like egregiously awful conservative nonsense.
I don't think they had any dissension.
So what happened when Amy Coney Barrett and voted with them? Did she go bah as well, or did she go bing, bing bong, bing bong?
Where's our people? Yeah, no. It's almost, I've said it. Republicans want to show everybody how they're not controlled, how they're so honorable.
When they really should be controlled.
As the Democrat justices and judges, by the way, they get up. Barack Hussein Obama appointed me, and I'm voting for him.
Is that what they said? They said, is that in the actual? Because I'm fairly certain you'd have an easier time getting shit overturned if they put that in their ruling.
Republicans don't do that. And I'm amazed. I'm not saying it has to be a loyalty test, but
Yeah, you are.
it's much different. The 3 justices vote as a block. I think I can remember one time, but very, very seldom, do they not vote as a block. Whereas our people, and we have 6, but they move around
Yeah, they actually follow the Constitution.
a little bit and they suppress. For instance, birthright citizenship. I should have won that. That wasn't meant for billionaires from China bringing
What about Russian women who stay at Trump Tower, Miami?
a child over and becoming an American citizen, and far worse than that, much worse than that.
The last
It
word's
was a
not out on
terrible
that
vote.
either.
I'll tell you,
is
the
it?
worst vote was tariffs. I'm doing the same tariffs, but now it's much tougher.
Yeah, you actually have to follow the law.
Joe, I stopped 8 wars because of tariffs. India, Pakistan. I mean,
You didn't stop that. They did.
I did so many. I stopped 8 wars. Everybody acknowledged. I said,
No, they don't.
and
Yeah. And you keep bringing those up, these little like odd skirmishes like Armenia and Azerbaijan, still border fighting. The Congo and Rwanda, still fighting. Wasn't even a war between them. Even fucking Lebanon, Israel, you're going to want to take credit for that when Lebanon isn't fighting with Israel. Hezbollah is. It's Hezbollah-controlled territory.
half of the 8 were stopped because of tariffs. I said, if you keep fighting, I'm going to put a 200% tariff on your country. said it the same thing to the other. I did it with India and with Pakistan.
Gibberish.
11 planes we shot down. They were going to war, and they're nuclear nations, strong nuclear nations. And
Sorry, strong what?
planes we shot down. They were going to war, and they're nuclear nations, strong nuclear nations. And
Nuke relations should be a word. Nuke relations. When we got together, it was like Slim Whitman was riding your penis, going, "Wow, yow." All right.
the Prime Minister of Pakistan said President Trump saved at least 30 million lives by stopping this war.
By stopping the war, he stopped the war. Wait, Trump stopped the war?
Saved at least 30 million lives by stopping this war.
He stopped the war. I didn't realize. I thought he was taking credit for something else entirely. But apparently, he saved a lot of lives by stopping the war. He took a piece of bread and he soaked it in the war, like it was buttermilk gravy.
You know what has been a really good indicator of what's happening in the war in Iran or whatever the conflict is oil. And regardless of what we hear from whomever has the stage in Iran, but you pointed out, we don't know who's talking at any given time. There's different factions.
We killed one group.
And then
Oh, God.
We killed the second level.
Yeah, by the way, they're having a funeral for the first guy.
But $67, $68 oil.
We're down to lower than we were before.
It shows you that probably,
There's a glut.
even though we have these skirmishes on both sides, and I don't know whether that continues, I don't know whether you can tell me whether that continues. Have you been close to doing more than just a reciprocal move on them?
Well, I think I've done much more than reciprocal.
Right,
because
but you want diplomacy. You want diplomacy at this point.
Look, I built the military in my first term.
Right.
Oh, God. And I didn't know I was going to use it this much, and then my
I'm
next.
using it in my second term.
Right. This is the same shit.
When I went in, otherwise we wouldn't have. And that's after Biden gave so much away in Afghanistan. He just
You didn't give it away.
said, leave it.
Yes, because it belonged to the Afghan army, which you did not consult when you released 5,000 Taliban fighters a year before the evacuation of our own people.
Brand new military vehicles. We left tanks.
You're welcome.
left airplanes. These people are crazy. They don't know what they're doing. And there was no reason to do it.
Right.
Yes, there was. So that the Afghan army could fight the Taliban and not us.
Getting out of Afghanistan was fine, but they should have kept Bagram, the Air Force base. They
So how do you get out and stay?
could have kept it very easily.
Yeah. Do you know how you get out and keep it very easily? You don't get out. You stay. Also, like, Bagram is in the middle of ISIS-K surrounded territory.
We would have gotten out with dignity and strength. We shouldn't have been there.
Then why didn't you fucking do it? You could have done it during COVID on the down low. Everybody was home. You could have used that as an excuse. You could have started evacuating people in small numbers. By the time they figured it out, you'd have been fucking gone.
Place. Or we could have won. I would have won it. I would have won it or gotten out.
Or stayed.
But I would have won
By the way, won it would mean staying.
it. But they just teetered around. You know, it's interesting.
They did. They teetered around.
So we're in the war, and it's really the denuclearization of Iran. This is not a war per se. This is the denuking of Iran. You can't let them have a nuclear weapon.
We might have to nuke them to denuke them.
And I'm doing it for 3
America for the world.
and a half, 4 months, right? Look at Venezuela. That was a one-day war. And we've gotten our money back many, many times over
Yes, the ROI on that kidnapping was amazing.
for the cost of the war.
Starting to understand why there's so much kidnapping in South America. It's really the main currency.
But in a certain way, I'm doing just as well with Iran. It's a much bigger, more complex situation.
Yeah, it's not over. It's more than a day. It's still ongoing. They've shut the Strait of Hormuz.
Dum 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 dum. Dum dum stupid. Dumb silly stupid dum dum.
Good God.
Relationship, by the way, with Venezuela is great.
So good. And if it isn't,
They're doing better than they've ever done with oil. The big companies are moving in, and we're getting a good chunk of it too.
is that guy snoring in the background? Listen.
With oil, the big companies are moving in, and we're getting a good chunk of it too.
He is. Somebody's asleep. What the fuck?
As we should. But with Iran,
What if they jerk you around? What if they jerk us around again with either the Strait or with the, they know the midterms are coming?
Because they've had their own way for 47 years. Like, if you're a spoiled child,
That's what they are. They're spoiled children. So these negotiations are going very well.
and you've had your way for many years with your parents, and all of a sudden they come down hard on you, it takes you a little while to get used to it.
But enough about Don Jr.
They've had their
and his coke use.
way for 47 years. They pushed everywhere. They were known as the bully of the Middle East. They pushed the countries around, and they pushed the United States around because we had presidents that weren't willing to do. Look, Barack
You were one of them.
Obama paid them to try and keep them in line. Gave them $1.7 billion in cash.
He just gave him $6 billion
You remember that because you
of a down payment on 12 that's going out the door during the 60-day period.
reported that. They put it on a beautiful 757 Boeing. They took all the seats out and they stuffed it with green cash from Virginia, Maryland, and D.C.
Bullshit. It was money from Qatar. It was all Swiss francs.
The banks had no money left. They
Gibberish. Just gibberish. It was fucking Swiss francs. It was all foreign currency. Like, everybody knows this. This was not US dollars. It was their money. It was kept in foreign banks.
took and they delivered it to Iran, and they took out satchels and sacks of money. In addition to that, they paid tens of billions of dollars. And you know what they got?
No, they didn't.
They got a lot of nuclear research and a lot of weapons and a lot of missiles and an enemy. They actually went on the other side. And how a Jewish person can vote for a Democrat is beyond me.
Go for it. Try to sell this one.
Because I've been the best president in the history of Israel.
Oh, boy. That'll do you really well with your crowd and with Democrats and independents right now.
And they acknowledge.
Yeah, I have let Netanyahu do anything he wants. Obama, Biden, Harris, they were all turning away from him. They wanted to limit what we could give him to largely just for defensive measures and safety and stuff like that. I said, nope, fill your boots.
In Israel, I think I was at 99% or something. But Joe, you can't let Iran, whether it's Israel, the Middle East, or not, you can't.
Well, what would? How is there not a knot? How is there a knot in this? Like, you can't let Iran have this, even if they were located somewhere in Asia, like North Korea. You mean?
Let Iran have a nuclear weapon, and when you see,
Even if they were a friendly country, liked Israel and all their partners. Does anybody believe that?
say maybe I'm a little bit nice, no other presidents even thought of doing what I did. So in my first little while there, I ripped
Your first little while?
their military apart. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They have no radar. Their leaders are all dead.
Again, then who are you negotiating with?
And they they raise new leaders. They're all dead. And also,
All right. So again, who are you talking to?
we're on the third set of leaders. And we actually get along with them. I think they're much more rational. By the way, I think that's regime change, but I'm not looking for regime change. I'm looking for something very simple. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. Or if you want to see market disruption. So think of it.
Oh, God. You want to see it, the stock market crash? Wait till somebody nukes us.
Oil today is at $68. The market's up to almost 53,000. The S&P, they said the S&P would never hit 7,000. Never. I did that in 10 months. They said I would never hit it during my term.
No, they didn't.
They said I'd never hit 50,000 during my term.
We spoke.
And nobody else would. Yeah,
asked
but
me
Joe,
if
neither would. And they said nobody else would either. They said if I could get to 45,000.
This was a pragmatic end. I said that to you when you asked me if this is a pragmatic end. You're not going to be in a forever war.
That's true.
And
that's true.
there are other concerns. But
Joe, wait a second. We were in Vietnam for
Oh, dear God.
19 years.
Right.
We were in Afghanistan
He's heard this before. The guy was he was giving you an out, dum-dum.
for like 10 years. We were in the Korean War forever. We were in, I don't even mention World War I and World
MASH was longer than the Korean War. The TV series was on longer than the
War
Korean
II.
War.
They're biggies. But you know what? Stuff like this could have led to it. But we were in many, many years in every war. I've been there for 4 months. And what have I done? I've defeated them militarily.
Apparently not.
They're totally defeated militarily. They have some missiles left. We could
Well, okay, so not totally.
wipe them out too. And I hit them 3 times last week, very hard.
What'd you hit? They don't have any airplanes, any radar, any missiles, any missile launchers, any... Maybe you only hit missiles now? Maybe you're allowing them to have missiles just so you have something else to shoot at?
Because they sent a drone into a ship, I hit them. Then they did something else, and I hit them. I hit them 3 nights in a row. The week before, I hit them 2 nights in a row, very hard.
Yes, over the weekend while the markets were closed.
And we're negotiating, and we'll see
And we'll see.
whether or not. I think they've agreed to just about everything we need.
They have not agreed to any of it.
No. Do you?
Did you hear him just say, I think he just said nope. Hold on. Back up. I'm sorry.
I think they've agreed to just about everything we need.
No. Do you?
Nope.
I'm going to
That's like what I say sometimes when I'm just tired of debunking the same fucking lie.
switch gears completely.
Nope.
And we have assets left over.
It's like a tick. Nope. 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 No. No. No.
There. If necessary, you're willing to do what's necessary.
We have all the assets. No,
If necessary, he's willing to do what's necessary. Which necessarily might end up being necessary. We don't necessarily know.
they're just
And if
waiting.
you're not anticipating another full.
Joe, I did a blockade that was essentially not a blockade. It was a wall of steel.
It was essentially not a blockade. It was so blockaded. It was a new kind of blockade. Also, military ships, and it was just keeping tankers away.
We have the great Navy, the greatest Navy in the world. These guys are
We do have the great Navy.
unbelievable.
Oh, they're so unbelievable. And the great thing about them is they have salt water in their veins, literally.
Water in their veins. You have that salt water. Don't let the doctors change
No.
it. Keep it,
Keep it.
because there's nothing like
There.
it. There's no blood like it.
So true. There's no blood like salt water in your veins. So have fun with the fleet.
The fleet.
Yes, it's great. His use of language is
Not good.
yeah.
One ship got through to Iran. They have 300% inflation. They're making no money. So we're going to take some of the money and we're going to buy them. They need food. They need
Oh, this is all bullshit too. This was just a lie.
corn and wheat and soybeans. And we're going to have
Wheat, fields of wheat,
exclusively
cream of wheat,
our American farmers provide
gibberish.
that, assuming we get to the position where we should get to. I think we're going to get there.
We're gonna use their money and buy
Chicken.
That's right. Sorry.
Potatoes and chicken.
That's right. And it'll be a de facto.
Tariffs.
All
Their
right.
strength is gone. Their bravado is gone, although they keep up a pretty good front. The one thing they do have is their bravado is gone, although
Their bravado is gone, although they keep up a pretty good front. Hey, dickhead, that's what bravado is.
we're going to get there. Their strength is gone. Their bravado is gone, although they keep up a pretty good front. The one thing they
Bravado is a front. That's literally the definition of the word. It's bluster. It's fake.
do have is fake news. The New York Times said the other day
Oh my God.
that Iran is in better position now than it was 4 months ago. I said, wait a minute.
Because they have control of the strait, and you gave it to them, shithead.
Their military is gone. Their inflation
They don't even need it.
is up to 300% from 5%. Their leaders are gone. Their second row of leaders are gone. Some of their third row of leaders are gone. Their generals are mostly wiped out. But they said that they are in better shape today than they were 4 months ago before we.
Okay, I don't know what he's quoting directly, but they certainly have more leverage over the Strait. The Strait was completely open before this shit, and now Iran has de facto control over half of it at the very least, and they've gotten it in the MOU. Trump signed it.
No, we were very strong, and look, I always said,
there's a thing where,
I don't want to be a president with a depression on his resume. I don't want to be Herbert Hoover.
So that's why you called it quits. Not because you'd beaten their military and you'd achieved your goals, but because they called your bluff. They outlasted you.
Of almost all presidents, and some have been bad, some have been good, very few have been great, but I never want to be Herbert Hoover, because Herbert Hoover was the president that probably took us into the Great Depression, the greatest depression, led the whole world there.
It was the greatest depression. It's not even good that they call it the Great Depression anymore.
He raised interest rates and he raised taxes simultaneously. I guess he was.
We have another maggot in the chat who doesn't know how to spell your. Okay.
Trying to do something.
Thank you guys for being here. By the way, I want to thank all the maggots that do show up. You really help us out with the algorithm. And when you write things in the chat, you let them know that not only am I adorable, but I'm also engaging.
That didn't work out too well. By the way, you know what? It took us 30 years to get out of it. FDR didn't get us out of it. There's a picture right there. FDR, nice picture.
Nice picture.
It took us years to get out of it. I don't ever want to be in a depression. I don't want to be a president that oversees the great worldwide depression.
Really? You don't? Why not?
That was Herbert Hoover. And it was a terrible thing. And he made a
Yeah, a lot of people think that.
mistake. Now,
What? Sorry, did he make that mistake by just after a massive pandemic like tuberculosis, let's say? I'm just throwing that out there. Starting a war that, by the way, choked off one of the arteries of industry.
if I want to be the tough guy and close up the Strait for the next years, where 21% or whatever it might be, 20%, 21% of the oil never comes out,
I love how he adds a percent just because saying 20% bores him after a while.
and you can't get oil anymore. You know what a lot of people don't know, one of the reasons it only went up, it went up to like $115. If you remember, and I've seen guests on your show where they go, oil will be $350 a barrel and there'll be a depression. Because at $350, there's a depression. It's automatic. It goes with it. I said,
This dude knows he's full of shit. Look at him. Look at him. He's like, hey, nobody said that on my show. Also, everybody was expecting a possible 150 or 200 was if this kept going, which is why you stopped it.
we got to do something. We did something nobody knew. Every night we were taking ships out through the south, which is the furthest point from where they have their little weapons. And they were going along the coast with no lights for a month and a half. A lot of ships came out. We had one night where we took 22 ships out. That's a lot of oil. Those are big ships. Some of them are really big ships. And in a way, they had courage going out. But our Navy took them out. We escorted them out. And no.
Whoops. I don't know why that stopped. Is this near the end of it? I guess there's very little of this left. Cycling, loading, Oh, we got a hype train. Hype train. Thanks, Twitch. Yeah, this isn't, can we jump back and see if it reloads a little bit?
That's a lot of oil. Those are big ships. Some of them are really big ships. And in a way, they had courage going out. But our Navy took them out. We escorted them out. And nobody knew. The lights were off. Everything was off. Everything was silent. We blew.
Everything was off. The engines were off. We were.
Iran's radar. They had no radar. They still don't. We blew it up again the other night. They had a nice new radar.
Sorry, we blew up their radar and then they didn't have it. Now they have it again.
They were all set to go. And we blew it up. last week. They have to start all over again for a third time.
Have you talked?
But Joe, that kept, I think, other things too.
It
But Joe,
never
think
went
of
up
it.
as much
Did
as
we
people
ever get
thought.
above 115?
Never went up as.
Think of it.
Originally, it was at 115, came down quickly.
No,
from
but
there.
they thought it was going to go to 300. If you have
some of the spot
300, then I
markets were
become
up there.
Herbert Hoover. I don't want to be Herbert Hoover.
Yeah, that's why I stopped it. Not because we won, like I said.
Have you spoken to Elon?
Yeah, you tacoed, you dumb motherfucker. That's the point. That's what you're saying.
Raise your taco, take a bite. Trump always chickens out, so it's gonna be alright. Raise your taco, take a bite.
Jesus.
Trump always chickens
I mean-
out, so it's gonna be alright. Taco, taco, go taco, go taco. Raise your taco.
That's right. Just taco, everybody. We tacoed.
Since he became a trillionaire. And
I haven't. I wrote him a note. I said, congratulations, very good. I have a very good relationship with Elon. Elon and I had a little
Did that make it?
dispute.
Hold on. Did that make the noise from that thing? Hold on 1 second. I want to make sure that my sound effects worked. On that, I have to check. Oh, it did. Okay, sorry. Okay, good. The movie played. All right, good.
Liked me 100%. He liked me, still likes me. But I did a little
That's the important thing. Yeah, he's I think Sally Field would have been fantastic playing him at one point.
thing called the electric mandate. We're not going to have an electric mandate where everybody has to have an electric car,
No, it's just going to happen organically, dipshit.
where your beautiful son standing over there is mandated to have an electric car if he
That's fucking weird. Sorry, you're pointing out how beautiful his son is? Please don't grab his fucking thighs.
wants gas generated or gasoline generated or a hybrid. And
Gas-generated cars. Yes, he wants a car with a gasoline generator on it. He wants a Mad Max future.
I made so many speeches, and Elon was there for many of them, and I'd always say, we will not have the electric mandate. But when I actually did it, Elon was not thrilled about that, and I can understand it, but he's doing good.
Yeah, he's moved on. Do you think?
He's moved on. Yeah, that's a good way to look at
Have
it.
you talked to him about donating SpaceX to something you might want to talk about, or donating SpaceX stock to Trump accounts?
Well, I think that he will do that.
Why? Because you just brought it up?
Micron, which is a great company,
I saw
just
that,
did
yeah.
it. Michael Dell is a fantastic guy. He did.
Yeah, you bought a bunch of his stock, and then... Hold on 1 second. Here they... hold on. Just to clarify, February 10th, Trump bought between $1 million and $5 million in Dell stock ahead of a $9.7 billion Pentagon contract that was awarded on May 28th. Yeah. Right when they started thinking about it, when they were working it through the process, it was just like, yeah, we're going to definitely do it. So he bought about $5 million worth of stock in Dell and then gave him a $9.8 billion federal contract. Oh, and then Micron. Let's see. Micron's one of those that's like with NVIDIA. Let's see. Yeah, Trump owned, let's see, existing 2025. So he has about $6.6 million in Micron stock. And then after his March purchase, Micron committed to $250 million to the Trump account savings program. And stock advisors think twice before playing along. Yeah, this is the Washington Post. Trump calls Micron a great company, but can't stop the stock from falling. That's the other part. This is what really happens when he tries to do anything. Boy, try to go here. Do we sign up on this thing? Let me see. There we go. Don't allow. Okay. So yeah, here it is. This is so Eric must be in charge of this one. Trump calls Micron a great stock, but can't stop the stock from falling. Micron shares fell Thursday. This might be a little bit older because they've recovered July 2nd. So they've bounced back a little bit since he's been talking them up. Shares fell Thursday despite praise from President Donald Trump for the company's $250 million investment in the Trump accounts. Decline came amid a broader technology sector sell-off. Yeah, it recovered with the rest of them. They remain up 240%, though, in 2026. Trump has bought a bunch, like $6 million worth of it in 2026 and late 2025. How about this? Micron, a great company, announced they're putting $250 million into our thing. Shares rose 5% to $975 a share after a 10% drop in the previous session. And along with a bunch of other ones. Intel and NVIDIA also closed down 5.3%. So this was a chip drop overall. People are trying to offset their dependence on NVIDIA chips.
6,250,000,000.
Are you ringing the bell next week or something?
And I'm ringing the bell right here, I think. They're going to have a bell, and it's New
Yeah, he kept it.
York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. I said, what do you mean? They don't do both?
You're invited to the NASDAQ if you want to.
Well, well, that's interesting. It's very interesting. No, they're doing it together. It's the first time.
I don't know if I can do that. I have a...
No, but you know what they're doing? I was surprised. They're doing it together. New York Stock Exchange, I think Jeff is coming in, and the head of NASDAQ is coming in, and...
NASDAQ is coming in?
Doing it together. See? It can happen.
Yeah, it's not like they're at war, dipshit.
That's...
We're doing it. See this spot right here? The bell's going to be right there.
That
No, it's actually on the desk.
brings me just back to 250 and how you think you can set us up for the next 50 years. And one of the things I think is, Secretary Bessent talked about the Trump doctrine. There were 5 things, and I think we got to have national capacity here for anything we need. We need to be able to get it here.
Right.
That's just post-COVID shit. Everybody's saying
Reciprocity. We can't be. It can't be flowing one way to
we can't
the rest
be
of the world.
People.
Brilliant. It's a great flaw. We can't be stupid people. Well, better luck next time, I guess.
Write the rules for the new technology, which is that's AI.
If there's going to be any at all.
Dollar's got to stay strong. We need financial leadership. But maybe.
Well, Trump's not a big fan of that strong dollar. That's one of the other issues that he has trying to get the interest rates down.
Most importantly, it's all got to flow up and down to every American needs to participate.
Right.
Yeah, so it's got to trickle down. Yes, it's flowing up and down. That's a great way to put it, asshole from CNBC. That's what the economy needs. It needs to flow up and down. It'll flow up a lot and flow down very little.
And in the prosperity here, Trump accounts, I think it's a big leap towards, it's a novel way. We haven't even considered it in the past. Might be the most powerful, instead of just transfer payments.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's a child has
It's them trying to privatize Social Security.
no money, and when
Sorry, what? A child has no money?
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's a child has no money,
Yes, most children don't.
and when that baby becomes a man or a woman,
Yeah, or both.
they can have hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe more, but they can have
Or maybe not.
hundreds of thousands of dollars because we're seeding it. And guys like Michael Dell and Susan,
And Joe Micron.
his wife, they were so strong for it. But think of it, he's putting up $6,250,000,000. That's tremendous amount. I don't care how rich you are, that's a lot of money. And he wants to do it again. And others are. So again, I literally just spoke yesterday
Because he got a $9.6 billion contract out of it.
to Micron, hot company, great guy, what a great guy. And he said,
What a great guy. So, again, they're worth hundreds of billions. He spends $6 billion on it and gets a $9 billion contract. He made $3 billion on the deal.
$250 million into the Trump accounts. So many companies are doing it,
Sorry, how much?
putting up $250 million into the Trump accounts. So many companies are doing it. And
In stock.
I mean, kids that won't have any money when they turn 18 or 21 have a chance of being sort of rich.
Sorta.
It's an amazing thing, and it's been very
Yeah, I don't know who's. I think it's the host that's breathing like that. Yeah, I would see a doctor if I was
Do you
him.
have a favorite president, or do you think there's a
No, I'm just afraid of becoming Hoover.
period that
I'm my favorite president. I mean, why would anybody? Teddy Roosevelt. He shot a bear right in the bazookas.
that was so formative that if we lost our way in
Oh, fuck me. Yes, tell us about the most formative president for you. Quote him.
any respects?
We
do you
have.
think at this
We've
point?
had some very bad presidents.
We've had terrible presidents. And, well, how about blow off presidents? Just quote Jesus. How about that? Just give us your favorite saying from the Bible. Something Jesus said. You know what I mean? Just not your favorite verse. That's too personal. Just anything right off the top of your dome.
The president
Like, I'm the way, the truth, and the light. Something along those lines, you know?
has got tremendous power in this country. Even before the decision that I got, Slaughter, they call it the Slaughter decision, which is an interesting name.
Because of the person that brought it.
But that's a very powerful decision. But it gave a lot more power to the president. But it has been a strong presidency, not just me. It's been a strong presidency. It's considered a strong office. You know,
Really?
other presidents are not considered a strong office. Even if you're president, you can't do as much. But now with this additional...
Now, there's additional powers. I could shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue and literally not go to jail for it.
I mean, it's very special. We are respected again as a country, maybe like never before. A year and a half ago, we were laughed at. They're not laughing anymore. They respect us. The King of Saudi Arabia told me that.
Yeah, you mean during the election?
I said this numerous times. He said it, but many people said it. He said,
No,
President,
they haven't. They have not.
a year and a half ago, America was dead.
Oh God, they all say it now. Everybody says it. I don't even have to remember who said it.
They thought it was dead. And right now, you have the hottest country anywhere in the world, and we do.
Well, let's hope for another 250 like that.
Thank you very
We're on a
much.
good start. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
President.
Joe, very
For all
much.
your time. Thank you.
Yeah, careful not to smudge the makeup on the back of my hand. Notice how he turned his hand belly up like a dog showing compliance, and like he tried to keep his thumb off the makeup. Do you notice that? Hold on, I'll back it up. Super weird. It's an odd thing.
Anywhere in the world, and we do.
Well, let's hope for another 250 like that.
Thank you very
We're on a
much.
good start. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
President.
Joe, very
For all
much.
your time.
Thank you, Jim, so much. And I try to think of things, that would be so good for us as people, you and I, and the people that matter, the people with money, obviously. And so thank you very much. We're going to, by the way, hit the like, share the show. It's South Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Subscribing isn't that difficult thing. It's actually, and the membership thing was just wonderful. Thanks again, Peter, for that. And then we got some super chats. Social Security should be eliminated. Is that a Mike Lee quote? Thank you, Robin Dopp. Thank you so much for the super chat as well. And thank you for the super sticker, Pearlwise. I don't know why sometimes the super stickers show up and sometimes they don't. You know what? Maybe it's the Twitch thing. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they, like, if you do a big stickery emoji thing on, but I don't know, it didn't seem to be that. Maybe it was like a bunch of bits. I don't know how that worked. But didn't it show one last week and now sometimes they show and sometimes they don't? It's very disappointing, the whole thing. Oh, maybe it's on the, only on the vertical YouTube because it's not going to restream. A little runt on Robot Chicken is called Bitch McConnell. It's becoming more true by the day. Yeah, we've mentioned that before. Also, when did my where is it? Turn my brightness and my contrast, the gamma. Yeah, there we go. And then the brightness and the temperature and the tint and the saturation. this thing. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right. I don't know why that is. I think maybe it's my fade level, yeah? Yeah, there you go. Back to that guy. Yeah, there you go. As soon as that goes away, we're good. Right. Yeah, so you can see my hand makes a shadow on the wall. Because this is my green screen right here. Because I work for a living in a tiny little room. So let's jump in. But before we move on, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why, and maggots, can you explain to me why Trump can't even quote John 3:16? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, for whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Why does he not know that one? I mean, I know why he doesn't know Matthew 16:26, you know, what good would it be for someone to gain the world yet forfeit their soul? Obviously, no interest in that. And of course, always this, you know, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Or being incredibly rich, I think was the addendum. I think they edited that out at the Congress of Nicaea in 462. Yes, I don't know if he could quote one, if not both Corinthians. In all seriousness, though, what maggots? What would be a Jesus quote you'd like Trump to at least try to commit to some kind of memory? You know, seek first his kingdom and righteousness, and all else will be given to you. Something like that as well. I mean, I know that's asking a lot. That's asking for him to say that one. That's clearly, you know. In the same, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. The whole thing about, you know, good deeds might be a thing. I mean, I understand that you're right. That I'm asking too much, aren't I? Love the Lord with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. Obviously, there are limitations. Love your neighbor as yourself. Yeah. All the laws and prophets hang on these two commandments. Love your neighbor as yourself, and love your Lord and God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Which is, by the way, the first and greatest commandment. If you ask me. I'm of course kidding. I think the best one is thou shalt not covet. If you're going to go old school, you know, can't just rely on do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's too selfish. Right? Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, Jesus, don't be a dick. That's in Mark, right? With man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible, right? I'm the bread of life. He that comes to me shall never be hungry, and he who believes in me shall never be thirsty. Yeah? Yeah, thou shalt not murder. That's the way they interpret it now. Anyways, point I'm trying to make is that, maggots, do you have a single Bible verse that you think Trump could learn? I mean, and straight up, as a Christian, it should be, I think, a Jesus quote. It's not, you can't just go, thou shalt not kill and call it a fucking day. You can't go, if you're going to be a real Christian, and I think you want to be, you got to be able to quote Jesus. That's right. Blessed are the cheesemakers. Oh, the Go. That's good. They're getting something because they have a hell of a time. All right. Yeah. Yay, God. Like looking at that light saying, yeah, yeah. All right. We have to jump to this real quick. Let me deal with the, let's see. Plattner just released a video. And let's jump on this real quick because issues video statement after allegations of sexual assault. So this is his, is this on here? Hold on one second. Get over here, you silly thing. Let me get, all right. It should be on YouTube, right? I guess so. Hold on. Yeah, okay.
I wanted to directly address the
Okay, so yeah, this is the, let me go to YouTube on this one so I can affect it. So this is Graham Plattner's statement about the new sexual assault allegations that came from an ex. So here you go.
I wanted to directly address the troubling, serious, and false allegations against me. Any accusation of non-consensual behavior is categorically false. Over the last 10 months...
Oof. Yeah, I got to tell you, you should be able to do this in one take since it's not live. It's not good. Having an edit in one of these things, not good.
I've been deeply humbled by the faith Mainers have put in me. You have welcomed me into your homes, into your places of work, into your restaurants,
onto your couch,
into your houses of worship. You have shown that a different kind of politics, one that puts the...
What was that flash? Hold on. 1 second. Are we being programmed by MK Ultra? Hold on.
Into your houses of worship. You have shown that a different kind of politics, one that...
Did you see that? I didn't just see that, right? Also, any cut in or out is also a sign of an edit.
Puts the interests of people over corporations is not just possible, but is inevitable. This movement we have built, the largest volunteer base in the history of Maine politics, the hundreds of thousands of grassroots donors, and the supporters across the ideological spectrum
who like the ideas that should be bigger than the guy.
We were united in a love of Maine, a belief that our
that's interesting.
Politics must change.
Yeah, he's totally doing a Russell Brand. It's not happened.
Of grassroots donors and the supporters across the ideological spectrum, we were united.
Okay, first of all, supporters across the ideological spectrum. Why would you have supporters across the ideological spectrum if it's the ideas that got you there?
Of Maine.
Sorry, so you're admitting that Republicans helped, like crossed over basically to vote for you, either to take out Susan Collins with a dude or run interference for them. So that you're saying that Republicans crossed over and voted in the primaries?
Belief that our politics must change and a focus on defeating Susan Collins.
Look, any reasonable candidate has a shot, especially the former governor.
So, regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict, we are taking the time...
Politics. What? We're what? We're taking time to what?
Accuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict. We are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward.
He's grateful personally, but we're taking time to reflect.
For the state that I love, the people that I love, the movement I belong to, and the goal of defeating Susan Collins. Those were the goals when we launched this campaign.
Great. And now it's, we're going to back out and try again later. Swalwell Plattner, 2028. Is this where we're going?
And they remain my goals today. On June 9th.
Then drop out immediately and let a woman get the office. She can do it. She was elected governor. And anybody who was like carrying you, like the idea that Maine's going to become this like flip. Ah, God.
154,058 Mainers, the most in primary history.
which included, apparently, according to you, Republicans who crossed over specifically to get you.
Voted to reject a broken politics beholden.
Or to throw a spoiler in to make sure that a better woman wouldn't get the seat.
Washington and the donor class. They voted for hope, for change, to take back our economy, to take back our power.
Which would be true of any Democrat taking the seat. Susan Collins has been there forever.
And to take back our Senate seat. Throughout it all.
Sorry, take it back?
You never turned your back on me.
Well.
And I will not.
Some of the ladies are afraid to, I think. Sorry, that's almost a cheap shot, but I don't think so.
Turn my back on you now.
That's not the worry. They're worried about you turning your front on them.
Every one of you deserves to see that vision come to fruition and see Susan Collins defeated. And we will use every tool at our disposal to do so.
Then ditch the fuck out, man.
As Maine goes, so goes the nation.
That's not true either. It's just that it may it may make the difference between us getting the Senate or not.
As always, thank you.
Oh, just the gratitude. I had no idea that was a Nazi tattoo. Like, he's been a problematic, and I hate that word because it sounds, again, like an appliance. But yeah, Swallow was a total letdown. I completely agree. You know, as somebody who defended him against the whole Fang thing, because the details are that she was trying to get close to him. As soon as he found out, he turned her into the FBI, and the Chinese lifted her out. They basically airlifted her out of the fucking country. She went back to China and never came back. And I was like, that's how you do it. But the rest of that shit, absolutely not. And the idea that one of the defenses of Plattner is that he blacks out. He doesn't remember some things that happen when he drinks. Like, we don't need anybody in office who will do that. It's a little silly. And again, if you're running against a woman who's qualified, has won statewide, and can actually win, it's like an extra dick move to try and leverage this state, especially with, you know, and I don't blame necessarily people who bought the rhetoric and went out on a limb for it, because it was the ideas that they were supporting. But that doesn't mean those ideas, the more extreme ones, the ones they were counting on him to shoehorn through, he was hoping that people hated Susan Collins enough to make sure that, that the Democrat, whoever it was, could get in there no matter what their ideology was. That's not necessarily true. And there's a reason to believe that Republicans were feeding some money into this to get him to be a spoiler candidate. Democrats have talked about doing it in Ohio and other places. It's not that weird. Yeah, exactly. Bernie Murphy, Ro Khanna, Warren, Pod Bros, fuck all of you for endorsing this guy and knifing Biden in the back. Exactly. And you're not hearing them apologize about it anytime soon. Plattner's baggage has baggage. Yeah, totally true. And the other candidate has, she'll win. She'll win, for fuck's sake. If in a state that's had a Republican as bad as Susan Collins for as long as she had, and where she had to play nice with the Democratic side, where she could be a thorn in Trump's side for a long time, that's the kind of state that can truly elect a bipartisan Democratic senator. But if you go extreme with it, they might just go with Susan Collins because they'll bet that she'll vote with Trump 85% of the time and continue to go. I think he'll change about everybody that they put up for the SCOTUS. And there's a very strong chance that they're going to end up, that Clarence Thomas is out in this next couple of years. And Susan Collins being in there because she squeezed in because we ran somebody who was a blue Trump. Fuck that. We have to have a higher standard. And again, if the guy is innocent and goes through this process and files charges against the people that accused him of this stuff for slander and all this kind of stuff, he can run again. Nothing's going to stop him. He can run to be fucking the governor of the state. Yes, Susan is worse. But again, that's not the choice. That's a false choice. If he took any accountability, maybe, but this is a load of crap. Exactly. I mean, he's pulling straight from the Roy Cohn book. Purity test can backfire. This is not a purity test, though. This is a baseline standard test. The purity test that is backfiring is saying that this guy who may or may not be guilty of this kind of stuff, we're going to look past that because he does the pure political stuff we like. That he's a Justice Democrat or whatever, or a Democratic Socialist or that crowd or whatever. And so they're willing, just like maggots, to look past all the Trump shit. And it's got to be wrong. Somebody said the same said for Kamala, she'll win, no problem. 6 million Democrats stood down. That's why she lost, not because the Republicans that may have drifted over didn't go that way or something like that. In all honesty, that was our problem. Our voters didn't show up. I hope they have learned that lesson in the last year and a half. Maybe check out the Politico article. Okay. I've seen parts of it. Because this one. I read there was parts of this, and I think the woman who said this was she on Jake Tapper like an hour ago? Yeah, Maine Democrat denied the allegations that any accused. He said this in the video or whatever. A woman who dated Graham Plattner says he forced her to have sex with him nearly 5 years ago despite her repeated objections. She was a 41-year-old Maine resident named Jenny Racaco. Detailed the alleged incident to Politico in 3 interviews over the past 2 weeks. She also spoke with a man that she dated and confided in the years after the alleged incident, reviewed documents, including emails between her and her therapist and messages between her and an acquaintance whom she warned against getting involved with Plattner years before he ran for office. She said he had an on and off relationship with Plattner, who is now the Democratic Senate nominee in Maine, for more than 2 years before he entered a rural Maine home uninvited one night in late 2021, deeply intoxicated, and forced himself on her while she repeatedly told him to stop. She said she cut off contact with him after telling him the encounter was not consensual. I remember grabbing my pelvis and being really forceful of me. I remember the specific moment where I thought to myself, like, this is no longer my choice. These allegations are troubling, serious, and false. Any accusation of non-consensual behavior is categorically untrue. He describes reckless and unsettling behavior by Plattner. She described it to the New York Times, but says she didn't go public with specific assault claim because she didn't want to be known as a rape victim. She later felt compelled to go public about her experience because the reaction to the Times story was dominated by controversy about another woman, Lindsay Fifield, who alleged Plattner mistreated her and faced attacks because of her ties to the Republican Party. Contacted by Politico, Fifield stood by allegations she made to the Times and declined to comment further. My part of the story was just a read over, and the story was Lindsay. The accusations of her being politically motivated. Rakico says she was torn over coming forward in part because she agrees with Plattner politically. One of the reasons I didn't come forward sooner was the huge moral conflict that I have between supporting his politics but not supporting him as a person. I just want the truth out there. I just want people to have a whole scope of who he is as a person. In a statement, they reiterated his denial. These allegations are very serious. He vigorously denies them. They are also coached and coordinated by out-of-state establishment operatives. Not only are these bitches liars, but they're lying because the Democratic Party is coaching them to lie. For a year, opponents of his campaign have thrown him against everything they can, calling him a Nazi, a war criminal, and a communist. None of this has been true, and this is no different. It's not a coincidence. The story comes out a week before ballot deadline, just as the previous false allegations came a week before the primary. Graham began his campaign to fight for Maine, blah, blah, blah. He's an oysterman, a political newcomer, where he launched his Senate campaign last August, easily won the Democratic primary last month to face Susan Collins. His remarkable rise has been tainted by controversies, including his offensive online comments and in allegations of past mistreatment. The Iraq and Afghanistan war veteran has linked some of his behavior to mental health struggles and alcohol abuse, but he says he's changed and has denied previous claims that he was abusive to women. This would be the I got older. I got older and became a communist. Deleted post shows Maine Senate's hopefuls raw views on politics, war, and police. I'm not going to sign in, you jerk. It's CNN, for crying out loud. Hold on. Yeah, big jerk. No. I don't want to. All right, whatever. I'll just go to another version of that article. Let's see. Here it goes. Plattner came up. Okay, this is the story of what she said, though. Plattner came up this in late 2021. She had exchanged text messages with them, told him not to come over, saying she wasn't in the mood for company. Later that evening, she said she realized that she heard a sound on the stairs, that he had let himself into her house, which was unlocked. Plattner came upstairs, Racco said, where she was on the couch. He got on top of her and kept grabbing her. She said while she repeatedly told him to stop and that she wasn't interested. She said he smelled like alcohol in his breath and believed he was almost blackout drunk, which I presume means he drove over there drunk. Because Plattner ignored her protest and continued to grab her after knocking over an antique sewing kit, spilling small needles everywhere. I had been telling him these words like, no, don't, she recalled. And the look on his face and realizing what was happening, I just realized, like, I'm in a situation where there's no consent here. She said she tried to separate herself from Plattner by telling him she couldn't be in that room anymore, after which he followed her to her bedroom and had sex with her against her will. She said he also ejaculated inside her, despite her telling him not to, and she was not using birth control at the time. She went to clean herself up. She said when she returned, Plattner had fallen asleep. She contemplated waking him to kick him out, but worried he could hurt someone driving in the state he was in. The following morning, he tried to put his arm around her, and she pushed him away. She says he asked whether he remembered what had happened. He said he didn't remember. She said she told him to leave and never contact her again. She waited several weeks until she got her period to ensure she wasn't pregnant. Then she sent a private message on Instagram saying that the encounter was not consensual and she didn't want to hear from him ever again. She had no further contact after that, and she later deleted all her texts, social media correspondence with Plattner as she tried to move on from the assault, and said she has not been able to recover the Instagram messages she sent him about the incident, which I think one of the things he could do is let people see his social media DMs around this, if any exist at all, or between him and her, and say whether they are complete. She showed Politico recent emails with her therapist in which she explained she was talking to the media about her relationship with Plattner and the SA rape, using an abbreviation for sexual assault. In the recent message, she was not ready to go public and was seeking help corroborating her account in conversations she was having with reporters on condition of anonymity. Her therapist responded that she shouldn't have to speak publicly about a traumatic incident in order to be believed without referencing details of any particular incident. The therapist, whose Politico agreed not to name at her request, declined to comment when reached on Monday. Because, I mean, there's a myriad of reasons why she wouldn't want to talk about that. So I would say, ew. I mean, if we're going to give Al Franken the fucking boot, I mean, come on. And we're up on Patreon, right? It's the Patreon thing still working? Yes? Because I'm very excited about that as a potential thing for streaming on there for people who are, oh, that's great. I hope so. Yeah. So, anyways, ooh, no, thank you. Let a woman run and win in the state. Replace a female Republican with a female Democrat. Why would that be a difficult thing for people to deal with? He totally pulled a Hegseth. Absolutely. Now, I'm running out of time, but we have to do this. We have to do this little thing right here. Ugh. This is just magic. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, when you get a look at what he's done to the Oval Office, it's fucking gross. It looks like H.R. Geiger fucked Gollum to make this place. My precious. It's good. It's habits. Good Lord. And they brought in these little bookshelf nightstands, and he's got a little plush eagle holding a little flag. He's got a little flag there, buddy. And I'm sorry, there will be, because there is no microphone in this one to speak of. It's a lapel mic, I think, or they're using shotguns. There's a very strong chance of nunting going on in this one. I'm just letting you know. Yeah, it's nouveau riche douchebag stuff. Oh my God. Story time with the second lady. Oh God. Sorry.
I'm Usha Vance, and welcome back to Storytime with the Second Lady.
They're just committed to this trad wife thing, aren't they?
I'm so excited to share another great story today, because when we read, we grow.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how well we read, I think.
As you probably noticed, we're not in our normal reading.
Yes, where are you? This is a weird place. This is a new and silly environment.
Dumb, stupid. Dumb, silly, stupid, dumb.
Yes, and don't read into every freeze frame looks like she's dying inside.
Instead, we're actually across the street at the White House, where the President of the United States lives.
Really?
In fact, we're in his office, the Oval Office.
Ah, why is it called that?
Because today's special reader is none other than President Donald Trump.
And when we say special reader, we mean it.
President Trump, thank you so much for inviting us into your office today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Usha.
Would you mind telling the kids who are watching a little bit about this office and what
Yeah, tell us all about it. The history, the architecture, the shape.
makes it so special?
It's the Oval Office. It
Yes, you told us that part.
was built around 1900. It's a spectacular place. It's the most powerful piece of real estate probably in the world. Everything starts here, ends here, starts again.
God damn, like those fucking urns on top of that, those goblets or whatever the shit that are up there. It's so tacky.
And we've used it well, and your husband's been a great vice president, I have to tell you. We've had a lot of fun working together, even in times of great stress, because the world is under stress. But we're solving a lot of the problems, and it's an honor to have you in the Oval
Oh shit, they're AIing his voice.
Office. The Oval Office basically represents the president, and it's never been used.
Yeah, they're using the AI voice fixer on there. Because he's raspy or breathy or some shit like that, and so they're cutting it out.
For such a purpose, I don't believe, but that's okay with me.
Well, it's a great honor to be here and to get to share it with so many kids. Everything that you just described, all of these incredible accomplishments, they take a lot of reading. Do you have any time to read for fun these days?
He doesn't even read for work.
So I end up reading mostly newspapers. I usually read stories about myself.
Well, with so much going on,
Edit. Wow. Just cut straight through it. Like whoever's putting this together was like, oh God, he sounds like such a prick.
Newspapers. I usually read stories about myself.
well, with so much
Look at that cut. Thunk.
going on in the world, it's really kind of you to take a moment to read. And I know you have 11 grandkids, so hopefully some of them will tune in and watch you read this story
Well,
today.
so I'll make sure they watch. I'll make it mandatory. That won't mean anything. That means they still won't do it, but I'll make it mandatory.
You know, kids.
Well, I'm sure they'll love it. Now, I know you brought
Are ya?
a special book today.
I did.
Yes, but you did. This is one from his own shelf.
This was done by the White House Preservation.
Jesus Christ. Listen to the AI on his voice.
And it's
This was done by the White House Preservation.
done by the White House Preservation. And it's really very cute.
Uh-huh.
Here's your cover. It's called President's Play. We don't play too much, right? And it says,
This is gonna hurt.
let's visit the White House. So exciting. Run, spot, run. We used to
Yeah, that's not the book. It's a children's book. Yeah.
So exciting. Run, spot, run. We used to have Run Spot 1. Remember when I was
Run Spot 1? He was a champion, that spot.
making Run Spot Run? We used to have Run Spot 1. Remember when I
That was better than Run Spot 2, The Reckoning.
was, maybe you were much younger, but when I was growing up, we had a book, Run Spot Run. That was the title of the book. And every sentence was of that complexity.
Yes, and it's still a struggle for you, clearly. This is, hold on, let me see if I can gather this together. Let's see if we can get the cover of that. I think it was C Spot Run, when I was a kid, but here we go. Run Spot, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remembered it as C Spot Run. C Spot Run. This is fun for Spot. Run Spot Run, right? Run Spot Run was part of it. It was C Spot Run. Whatever.
This is a little more.
It wasn't
exciting.
too hard. This is much more exciting.
Yes.
And this is Lyndon Johnson and
He had a big Schwanzstugger
Ronald Reagan.
who didn't even know what he thought that was a soccer ball. He was gone.
Two presidents, very different type presidents.
Edit.
And it said, this is Lyndon Johnson, the Oval Office. All the presidents work hard here. I think the presidents all work hard. But sometimes they take a break to have fun and exercise, like Ronald Reagan. He was in very good shape.
Read the book, stupid. They don't know what part is in the book and what part's you're little side stories.
Lyndon Johnson wasn't into shape, but he was a very tough cookie, a real great politician. He found himself in a position of power. And then Ronald Reagan was
Jesus Christ. He went on to go, because the guy he worked for had his brains blown out in Dallas, kids. This was the cut, go to Reagan.
high quality person.
He was a highly quality person.
Power. And then Ronald Reagan was a high quality person. He was
So maybe, I don't know what would be worse, if you read it or if you just spoke.
sort of, it was just like your father was president, you looked up to him. He was a good looking man. He was a man with, I think, was very highly
Great hair.
respected by a lot of people. Here's a man, President Harry Truman, it says took walks. He'd walk right outside the White House and take a walk down the street.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Although Washington, D.C., with the help of your husband and others, has become a very safe place.
We do like walking here.
Right. And do you walk with your husband?
We do.
Good.
We try very hard.
With massive
Try very hard to walk.
security,
Yes, there's that.
I guess. And then you have President Bill Clinton ran on a special jogging track. He had a little track built for him
By the way, if you can hear that, they're putting in sound effects of running.
at the White House. That's nice. I didn't even know that until recently.
Until recently. You mean until you read this book?
But he had a track built at the White House. I don't think I'll ever do that. I don't see myself doing that. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't either.
But
Not with those ankles.
he's actually was a nice guy. I like Bill Clinton a lot. I still
If I say otherwise, he'll produce pictures.
Still do. And then you have President Abraham Lincoln rode horses. He liked riding horses.
That's the sound of a horse, and not Usha, just for the record.
And that's great. I'd like to ride horses too. In fact, it gives me an idea.
Oh, man. Yeah. Take up horseback riding at 80.
But when you fall off a horse, I've seen too many bad things happen.
Yeah, so stay off horses, kids.
That's fair point.
Falling off
Just say no to horses.
horses is not good.
No, it's not.
So, well, we got a nice old horse that's extremely slow,
Are you talking about yourself now?
lazy, and maybe right up. Anyway,
Did you hear that? You could hear the laugh. You could actually hear his real voice, not the AI voice. Listen.
lazy, and maybe right
Did you hear that? That's the real sound.
up. Anyway, father and son presidents, and that's George Bush, his father. They would like to pitch horseshoes, the Bushies.
Or the bushes.
And here's John Quincy Adams.
Kept afloat by his mutton chops.
He was one of the very early presidents right at the beginning, and he swam in what was called the Tiber, Tiber, Creek, which I don't know if it exists anymore. In fact, I think we're building a beautiful ballroom on top of it based on this picture, the Tiber Creek. Then we have an indoor pool was built for President Franklin Roosevelt. That's right over here. That's now the press room. And he was
that explains the smell.
he was our longest serving president, had 4 terms. And he was respected. He was on the liberal side. That's a picture of him right up there, right above your head.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, Trump has him up there because he served 4 terms.
And he was the longest serving. In fact, because of him, they made it 2-term. Gerald Ford was actually a pretty good athlete. He was a football player, maybe Michigan, one of the good teams.
Maybe.
And he was a man that says an outdoor pool was built for President Gerald Ford, and that's right on the side of the house. I don't get to use it. I don't know if I look good in a bathing suit. I haven't had
Thank God.
a bathing suit in a long time. I'm too busy. I mean, it'd be nice. I'm looking at these pictures of people swimming, and I'm saying, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even like the idea of me without my shirt off.
You know, my attitude is you're at the White House for a short period of time, and it's an honor to be here. And you should work for
So no golf?
the people, right?
Right. So screw golf is what you're saying?
Very important.
And here's another, John Kennedy. He was a great guy. He was handsome.
You could tell by his square face.
He was the second most good-looking president, they say. President John F. Kennedy enjoyed sailing on the water, while President Grover Cleveland
Second most? He means himself, right?
really
Actually, probably Obama.
relaxed by fishing. So Grover Cleveland was a 2-term president.
He'd use, and most people didn't know, he used pieces of his mustache for bait, and it worked like a charm. The fish couldn't, they just jumped right. He didn't even need to put a worm on his hook. They just were trying to get to a piece of his mustache.
He also had
After a while, he just put down the hook and lean over the water.
an in-betweener. He was the only one other than me. And I think it gave us much greater strength actually doing it that way. I think he found that too. But that's John F. Kennedy sailing, good-looking guy, and Grover Cleveland.
Great mustache.
He's a good president.
Nice hat, you know. He borrowed that from Curious George's owner.
That's why they brought him back for a second term. Being a 2-term president is sort of important, I think.
Sort of.
There's so much to do.
Well, there's so much to do, and I think it validates us a little bit. But back at the White House, President Richard Nixon enjoyed bowling.
As we all know from The Big Lebowski, because that famous picture of him, which this is taken from a different angle, is on Lebowski's wall. Also, what the fuck was that sound? That wasn't. Hold on. Is that?
Nixon enjoyed bowling.
Yeah, that was they really muted that one. What were those pins made out of? Marshmallows? Yeah. This is the poster that's on the wall in The Big Lebowski. Pretty damn close.
He spent a lot of time fighting to stay in office because he had a lot of people got him into trouble, and he got himself into trouble again.
I see. A lot of people got him into trouble. You mean the guys he hired to break the law?
Yes. And then you had President Theodore Roosevelt practiced jujitsu. He was a sort of a tough guy, physically loved the outdoors.
Apparently, Captain Mustache was tougher.
He was a real athlete.
He was sort of an athlete.
Sort of.
But he loved the outdoors. And then the most sports played outside were done by Jimmy Carter. He liked playing tennis. He had a hard time as president. And then you had Barack Hussein Obama. He used the same court for basketball. So they used the tennis court for tennis. Jimmy would play there with his daughter, his wife. He was a nice man, a very nice man. There's a picture of each. Jimmy as a tennis player, Barack Hussein Obama as a basketball player. I don't know if he's a good basketball player. I tend to doubt it.
Yeah, he was.
Actually, his favorite sport is golf.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but he won't be in the Masters anytime soon.
Neither will you.
And then you have
Yeah, he was too busy reading.
Dwight Eisenhower. He was a much better president than he was given credit for. He did the interstate system. He was a very
You mean the highway or just connecting states?
good, maybe great general. So he won the war, and he came back and ran for president, and he won.
Huh, you don't say.
That was good credentials, you know. I just won the Second World War. Let me run for president.
Somebody's like, Hussein means good. Hussein means handsome, if I'm the handsome one, right?
And he won. And he was
Which
a
is
nice
another reason why Trump hates it.
man. He loved golf. He would play golf every day if he could. And there's a putting green for golf, a favorite of President Dwight D. Eisenhower. That's this picture right here.
Yeah, it looks a little more like Phil Collins, but
And
we'll just assume.
the putting green's right outside. I've never used it because I don't want to be seen putting at the White House.
And you don't make any money putting there, so you'd rather go to your own properties and take the Secret Service and everybody with you so you can make money off it. You don't make any money putting at the White House.
You've seen working at the White House.
Yeah, and putting at my own properties where I can make tens of millions of dollars.
And then you have President Herbert Hoover made up a game called Hoover Ball, and that worked out better for him than the economy because he was the president under which we had the
Oh, God.
Great Depression.
Obsess much?
And here's a great picture. Many presidents, it says, like Donald Trump, invite winning teams to the White House. We've had them all, which is right here.
They don't actually have a sport at the White House that Trump can have, so it's just he brings athletes and rubs their legs.
And it's true. Winning teams. We have all the Super Bowl teams. In fact, we have the team coming very soon.
You're not mad that they didn't draw your nut properly?
We have all of the baseball. The Dodgers were here twice in a row. They won 2 World Series. We have the basketball. We have everybody come. And then others like President William
I have all these sports memorabilia things that I've never touched.
Taft throw out the first pitch of baseball. He was a large man, very large, and he loved baseball. He'd go to baseball games, loved the hot dogs at the baseball games. He was our heaviest president, and I have to be careful because I don't want to supersede his record. And a thing like that would be possible if I allowed it to happen. For all of you out there watching, keep yourself in good shape, right?
Right, do that. Yeah, keep yourself in good shape. That's kids, that's the lesson today.
Like you. You're in such
Oh boy.
good shape. And then in closing,
In closing, that's how we finish a kid's book. In closing, before you close your eyes and go to
they
bed.
aren't playing sports. Presidents have
In closing, good night, Moon, for fuck's sake.
fun watching them too, just like you did. See, this is the Super Bowl, and his president is watching football together. Now, maybe I should invite Barack Hussein Obama, Joe Biden, with the Bushes, or Bush. Maybe I should invite some of those people to watch a football game together. Wouldn't that be a nice story?
Yes, it would. It won't happen because A, they don't want to go anywhere near you, and B, you don't know anything about football.
The press would go wild.
President reunion? That would be fun.
So here's the book, and they've really done a great job. Publication, White House Historical Association.
They do a lovely job.
What a job they did. Here's another picture. That's the presidents and some children watching a football game.
Yeah, that's the one on the inside. That's the same picture you just showed. Yeah, it's that you just saw that picture. See it? There it is.
With the Bush all together.
See that one? Yeah, see that picture you just talked
and his
about it?
president is watching.
There you go. See that picture? And you're talking about the president watching it with a bunch of kids, and then
President reunion?
you look at the back of the book, And look, there's the same picture again.
White House Historical Association.
It's such a good job.
They do a lovely job.
What a job they did. Here's another picture. That's the presidents and some children watching a football game.
That's a president and some children. There's only one adult in that picture.
And I'm doing this for a great second lady. And she's been so popular around the White House. Everybody loves you. It's a great honor.
What are they going to say otherwise? They're like, that bitch. Like, honest to God, you've been so popular. That's all you can come up with? I appreciate this. It's great that you're doing for the kids. And reading is so important. And I think fundamentally I have some favorite books. What are your favorite books? I'm kidding. That conversation is impossible.
Well, it's a great honor for us. Thank you so much for inviting all the children.
Everything's a great honor now because he wants to be honored. So he wants people to reciprocate. So he's fishing for honor.
Watching into the Oval Office today. So do you have any advice for kids on why
Oh, yeah. On reading.
they should get out there and celebrate our country on the 4th of July?
Or maybe about reading. Maybe why they should read.
So we have a great country.
We're doing better than ever before. Better than Barack Hussein Obama, who was very divisive because he was black and half the country hated that.
We have a country that is on a little bit of a ledge right now. It can go one way or another. You
What?
understand that?
What do you mean? What? What do you... Huh? The country is on a ledge right now and it could go one way or another? Wait, this is his moment for, like, frankness and... What?
Country on the 4th of July.
So we have a great country. We have a country that is on a little bit of a ledge right now. It can go one way or another. You understand that?
What?
But we're going to make it go the other. And
What? Which way? What? Sorry. How do you know what the other is? Which one's the good one? How do I know we might be going the good way, but we'll try to go the other? What? What is that? What the ever-loving shit? We're living on a knife's edge, kids. It's a little bit crazy.
so we have a great country. We have a country that is on a little bit of a ledge right now. It can go one way or another. You understand that? But we're going to make it go the other. And we're going to make America greater than ever before. But the 4th of July is a fantastic day. It's a day of celebration. It's a very important day for this country and the
Oh, yeah? Why?
life of the country.
Why?
It's a 250th year anniversary on top of everything, which is just wonderful, isn't
That's
it?
right. We're going to have a good time. And what we really are doing is celebrating America.
And, sharing Lee Greenwood with the world. My gift to the world.
We love our children.
Do you?
They are our most important people when you think about it, right?
When you think about it. I mean, you have to, off the top of your head, you wouldn't think so. But, after you really, I guess.
And our great children. And that goes along with teachers and all of the people that make them, that help to form a perfect person.
Try not to stare at your VP's wife while you're saying shit like that. It looks like you're about to pounce. But also your diaper might be full, so I don't know.
And that's what we want in this country. So
We do. We want perfect people. And anybody who isn't perfect gets obviously sent to the camps.
we have great respect for teachers and for everybody. And I guess
Not enough to pay them, but
most importantly, the parents of children.
yeah, most importantly, the parents of children. Otherwise, we wouldn't have children if we...
So many people go into that job of making somebody really good and sound.
Sorry, the parenting part or the teaching part?
People go into that job of making somebody really good and sound. Is so important. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you for everything that you're doing for children.
Thank you.
I hope all of you out there celebrate the 4th of July with some fun in the sun and with a good book or two about our beautiful country. We'll see you soon for another story right here on Storytime with the Second Lady.
Oh, God. You could tell he just farted and she's just blinking hard. She can feel it in her eyes. Oh, I don't know if this is it's probably a copyrighted piece of music, so.
Dum 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 stupid dumb silly stupid dum dum dum
Holy
Don't
shit.
dippy dum dum stupid really dumb.
Oof. I gotta let you guys go because I'm late anyways. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. Thank you guys for being here. Hit the like, share the show. How are we doing on numbers? We got to be getting somewhere close to like 92,000 subscribers, something on YouTube. What is it? What do we got? I'm just gonna check before we go, because I just it's not too much to ask. Just subscribe. I'm not asking a lot, and I don't ask often. I'm gonna view my channel, and we're at what are we? 91.6. Yeah, so we're on the slope towards 92. We can do this. So I think in the algorithm thing that 70% of my viewers are not subscribed. They always make you say that in YouTube school, and it drives me a bit crazy. But please subscribe, will you? Good Lord. We're getting there. We can get there. You can do it. Just me and you. So hit the like, share the show, etc., and I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon. So much love. You are indeed my home away from home, kids.
Bet you in a corner booth. Half a
Smile, half the truth. You said I'm not staying late. I got someone waiting at the gate. Hit the like, everybody.
Called it wrong. Said we keep it light, keep it small, not long. But your hand on mine felt like crossing state lines. Every promise that I made before you echoes loud in the dark when I go. But I keep driving back, I can't ignore you. Guess there's something that I need you to know. You're my home away from home, where I lay down what I can't let go. In your arms I'm not alone, even though I'm leaving when the sun gets low. I hate the miles between your door and my front porch, but when I feel that lost, that gone, you're my